Hey Rangers, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing Ranger Slayer. Well, this is kind of my review. I'll probably make a more in-depth one much later on. I plan on doing a proper video like I've done before. I just kind of read it and I've been kind of really excited about it because it's such a good comic. Now, first of all, I want to show you this. This I absolutely love. This is the spoiler variant from Boom Studios, and the second I saw this, I had to get it framed. This just looks absolutely stunning. I can't wait to put it up on the wall. So I recommend that if you have that one, it looks really good in the frame. So kind of pick up a second one and then just put it in the frame like that. I'll link to where I got my frame down below in the comments, so you can check it out. So yeah, let's talk about Ranger Slayer. This comic is from the kind of continuation from when Lord Draken has disappeared. He's been gone for around about 6 months in the coinless world, as they like to call it, and it follows on from issue 0, which was the kind of like the preview towards this, and it follows up about Ranger Slayer and what she's doing, and it kind of shows you, I don't know if it shows you in that one, but in this one it shows you that there are zombie rangers. There are kind of, I would say, mainly either zombie rangers or putty rangers, as I like to say, but I think they mentioned that it says that the zombies are the fact that they've been plucked from the ground, and they've been given powers, and therefore, so it could be the people that have fallen, and you know that they just really want to bring them back. And you see the sentries going around. They see the Ranger Slayer. She's come back, and they've kind of told General Scorpina, as in general, not as in general. So yeah, so basically Scorpina is kind of leading the army from Lord Draken until he returns, etc, etc. So for me, I really like this story. Just looking over it, it felt like there is enough to kind of keep going. There's enough fighting. The art style is absolutely stunning on this one, and I generally really enjoyed reading the story. There was no part where I was bored at any point in this, where I was like, oh, just please get to the next part. I'm bored of this. I generally thought it was a very interesting story, and for a One Piece, this to me was something that I wholeheartedly enjoyed. Going through the story, you have the fact that Bulk is in this, and he's not the bumbling idiot. You know, Skull's in this as well. He's obviously, we know who Skull is in this, but Bulk isn't this bumbling idiot, which I thought it would be. He feels very grounded, very straight off the bat on this one, and I like that quite a lot. You know, he gives some very good insight, and he tells a lot, like kind of brings the Rangers together, which you haven't really seen that. All these Rangers like Zack and Trini and Kimberly are kind of like squabbling and getting angry, where Bulk is the reason to kind of like come in and be like, hey, you know, we shouldn't be fighting, you know, we've got friends, you know, we shouldn't fight because I don't want to bury more people, more of my friends. And I thought, you know what, I like this Bulk. This is the Bulk that I really like in the comic books. You also see stuff where they go back to the command center and it's been taken over by an evil. Now, when I started reading this, I was like, oh, who could this bad person be that's taken over the command center? And it's actually Rita. She's been resurrected by Trini, and I didn't realize that Trini would do this, but she's resurrected Rita. Rita is basically bringing all these people back and trying to take over the world. I think what I like is through the artwork of this, you see like Ranger suits just being kind of like on display, but kind of like evil eyes and kind of like shortened, and I thought that was really awesome. Even that you see the Graveyard Zord that comes back, but they bring Zombie Goldar in, and he just absolutely destroys the Zord, and there's no chance of kind of the Zord defending itself. One thing I did like is like you've got Kimberly and Bulk in the Zord, and you know, Bulk's like, yeah, I get to drive a Zord, and he's so kind of happy about that. I thought it was brilliant, but the destruction of the Graveyard Zord straight away, I have a feeling that they're going to bring this back much later on, like in the next one. Even though this is a one-shot, if they do the next one, which is the Lord Draken one, I think that you will see a lot more kind of one-shots like this. So I think the Graveyard Zord will come back much later on. I love the fact, again, like, you know, Trini brought Rita back, and you know, everyone's kind of freaking out about it. It comes to this huge massive battle where it's Scorpina and the putties and the legions of people in this, like the Sentry Rangers that we've seen, against Rita's evil Rangers and stuff like that. And it kind of, in a way, just reminds me of a very kind of like Avengers type thing, where it's like, you know, Avengers Assemble type thing. And you know, it's like Scorpina doesn't like Kimberly, she doesn't like the Rangers, she wants to execute them. You see that in a few panels before where they're like, hey, let's destroy this, let's destroy the Rangers, but they don't listen. Like the bad guys don't listen whatsoever, and they go straight in for the kind of like protecting them to some degree, which to me was absolutely fine. I absolutely adored this. One thing, I think one of the things that made me smile is the fact that Bulk and Skull kind of get reunited, and Bulk is like, hey, like, oh my god, I didn't know you were the Legion leader and stuff like that. And Skull says, no, I'm a brigade leader, I'm 8th in command. And says like, oh, what do you do? And Bulk just goes, I got to drive a Zord. And Skull's like, oh my god, man, that's amazing, like awesome. Like you'd see the friendship like coming back, and I love this. Now I thought Bulk knew about Skull being in the Coinless and helping and stuff, but it's just literally seeing this like kind of friendship again, and it made me smile a lot. Like I could see this happening if this was like in 93 or something, or I could see it happening if they made a Netflix show, and that is the kind of friendship that I want to see more of later on. Some of the other things I really like is the fact that they bring Lord Zed back as the Dragon Zord, which is really weird. Now I thought Lord Zed would have failed, but I kind of really want to see more. Now I know there's an article which I'm going to cover later on about this, where you know they talk more about why they made Lord Zed into a Dragon Zord, and I think that it would be something that I kind of want to know more about. How did they get Lord Zed? You know, did they just use his body to combine him with Dragon Zord parts, or was there something completely different? There is a completely like story behind it. But the main kind of thing that happens in this is the fact that Scorpina and Trini work together and they defeat Rita, and they kind of seal her away, which is a bit weird because I thought that maybe they would have sealed her away with something in a dumpster, but they seal her away in the staff. So that'll be kind of interesting on where they're going to put that. Is that going to be much of a thing later on where they can use Rita's power where she has to use it with the staff? And then obviously they get rid of Zombie Goldarkers. He comes along and wails on a lot of people. One thing I really like about the end of this is the fact that, you know, Scorpina doesn't want the Rangers to be there. She wants to get rid of them. The fact is that a lot of damage occurred. And the fact is that they say like, oh, well, the Sentries would listen more to Kimberly. Like Kimberly should be the leader. And I think this is Bulk's idea. It says, hey, you know, Kimberly should be the person to lead this, even though that Kimberly says that she doesn't want to. But the fact is that the Sentries and all that look up to her because she was the successor after Draken. And I think to kind of keep them all together for now until they can defeat whatever evil is coming up next, or, you know, until they can find certain people, the fact is that they're going to leave Kimberly in charge, and she has this really kind of cool armor, which, as I lean in, is pretty much this armor. And dear God, get this cover and frame it! Frame it, goddammit! And it's that sort of thing which kind of leads into you want to know more. And after reading this entire story, I've wanted to know a lot more about it, considering I just finished it 5 minutes ago. But it led me to think, what's going on? Like, what could be the next one? And I'm guessing in The Rise of Draken, which is obviously coming up soon, that's going to be the one that has the next level of story that kind of makes me want to read. And seeing that being a one-shot as well, I think that is going to tell me a lot more before they start going into their own stuff, which I hope that they focus with Ranger Slayer, because out of the two Kimberlys, she is my all-time favorite, and I prefer her more than original Kimberly. She just looks badass, and I just think that her character is more kind of flushed out. Now, the characters in this, I feel, are a lot more different to what we've seen. I feel like they know that there is a problem going on and they want to fix it, but they've been through a lot compared to what we've seen in the other timeline, the one that is the number one after Tommy becomes good, blah blah blah, and all that. I think I like these characters a lot more because it feels like, you know, they've been through a lot. You know that they have there's a lot more risk at take, and that's what I generally feel is this comic is just absolutely fine for it. So seeing this, like, I want to see more of this world, the coinless world. That's where I want to see more of before anything happens. I'm like, yes, that's the story, I'm invested. So if they did like an entire run of just like Ranger Slayer as a comic book series, I'd be totally on board. There'd be a lot of variants, dear God there would be, but for me on this one, I think that this is one story that I would love to kind of see, because it shows another side of Power Rangers. It's not just the happy-go-lucky side, it's the oh my god what the hell happened side, and that's the side that I really like. So for me, I highly recommend getting this one. The entire storyline is fine. The story makes you want more, and that's what I want. Is I want more of this now. So I absolutely love it. It's the best one so far. I absolutely love the variant, and I can't wait to kind of like read more. So the Draken one I'm investigated in as well, even though I'm sick and tired of Tommy. If it carries on in this format, I want to see what happens. There's a lot more violence in this, which I kind of like, but it's not enough to kind of make it like an 18 or something. It's more fighting. The image is absolutely stunning. The artwork is stunning, should I say, and it's one that I highly recommend. So I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on Ranger Slayer? Did you like this? Did you not? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.